was on July 4th, 1776, immediately after approving the Declaration of Independence, that the Continental Congress advanced the following resolution: that Dr. Franklin, Mr. J. Adams, and Mr. Jefferson be a committee to bring in a device for a seal for the United States of America. And so they met over the next couple months to actually decide, now that they had engaged in this great revolution, what should be the symbol of their cause and of this new nation. Of the three founders, two put forward suggested seals that incorporated profoundly biblical images. Franklin, according to his own notes, suggested as the national seal a picture of, quote, Moses standing on the shore and extending his hand over the sea, thereby causing the same to overwhelm Pharaoh, who was sitting in an open chariot, a crown on his head and a sword in his hand. Rays from a pillar of fire in the clouds reaching to Moses express that he acts by command of the deity. Underneath the image, Franklin added, would appear the following motto: rebellion to tyrants is obedience to God. What's fascinating is that Franklin not only chooses the scene, but he chooses a motto which he believed captures the scene, but also allows one to engage in a transference from the original Passover story to America's independence story, thereby universalizing the story, saying that we are the new Israel. Israel's story is our story. And that motto is, rebellion to tyrants is obedience to God. And so on the one hand, Franklin is using a profoundly Jewish story, but he's universalizing it by saying, this story is not only a story, this story is something that teaches us about the rights of man and about the nature of humanity and of freedom that was communicated by God to the Jewish people a long time ago. And we are building on that. That's Franklin's scene. Jefferson, in contrast, according to John Adams' recollection, suggested a seal that bore a different image, also from the Hebrew Bible. Quote, the children of Israel in the wilderness, led by a cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night. Now what's striking is that while the Declaration's approval on the 4th of July is celebrated throughout the land to this day, the tale of the seal, which is a 4th of July story all its own, has been largely forgotten. Bruce Feiler, in his own book, America's Prophet, Moses and the American Story, writes that when he first discovered this tale of the seal, quote, this news stunned me. Why hadn't I heard about this before? The historian Michael Meyerson writes that he utilized Google Books to search every biography of Thomas Jefferson to see how many made mention of this story, and of the more than 200 Jefferson biographies that were published since 1950, only 12 made mention of his Great Seal proposal.